Hello, BookTube. This is Aaron from Aaron Read a Book or Aaron Read a Book. I've got a book haul video. I normally do little book hauls at the beginning of all my Friday reads, but I've decided this week I've got a day off today on Friday, so I decided to go and visit some London bookshops because I've lived in London for 8 years and I've been to almost no bookshops, mostly because I used to work right next door to a brilliant secondhand bookshop. So I would go like once a week, and that sorted me out. But I don't work there anymore, and I haven't been to a lot of the ones that are famous. So I thought I'd pop in. I'm gonna do them one at a time basically because today I went to Skoob Books, which I hadn't been to before and was brilliant. I also didn't do any videoing because I'm too scared. I'm too scared to do videoing in public, or take any pictures, which is that's kind of stupid. But I'll find a picture on the internet of Skoob Books and I'll put it up. And then I also went to the Bloomsbury Oxfam Bookshop, which is I've been to before, which is a really good Oxfam Bookshop. But first I'm going to start with two I actually just got in the posts, but like I normally would. So I got this from Vinted, another Rosamund Pilcher. I realised I had a wintry Pilcher. I've just read the Shell Seekers, which is a summer one. I needed an autumn one, so I've got September. And I think this is Gina's favourite and a lot of people's favourites. So I thought I'd get this one as well. I just got this one in paperback though, because I like the paperback version better than the hardback. I don't think I want to read this in September because I really want to do like hardcore shorty September, and I'll read at least one Shakespeare play as well. So what is this one about? Scotland. Sounds like a Scottish type family drama thing. So yeah, looking forward to that. Maybe I'll read it in autumn, just not in September. And I also got my pre-order of Katie's book, The Trouble with Miss Montgomery Hurst. So this just came out this week, but it arrived a few days early for me. I got it from bookshops.org. I pre-ordered it as soon as it was announced, so happy to see this arrive. I'm sure you've all seen it on Katie's channels, but it's a beautiful book. It's a beautiful object. So that one sounds very up my street as well, but it's probably because of my Victorian reading is influenced by Katie, so it makes sense that her book would sound up my street. Yep. So that's everything from the mail. Skoob Books I loved. I got a bit overwhelmed in it though. It's got loads and loads and loads of books in there, and it has the staff were really friendly as well. They were chatting to everyone, and it had a penguin wall. So I went and got a couple of penguins. I didn't get as many books in Scoob because it is quite expensive for a secondhand bookshop, but they're good old books, so I don't mind paying more than I would on eBay. You kind of expect to. First one I got was PG Woodhouse. I thought I had to pick up one of the PG Woodhouses. Pigs Have Wings. I just got this one because I love the cover, with a cute little pig on there. It does say on the back, the Odyssey of Blandings, the Blandings pigs runs into its third joyful episode. So this is Blandings' novel, and I've only read the P. Smith Blandings, and because this is the third one about the pig, I think maybe do I need to read the first two about the pig? I also really like the back of this book. I've not seen this on a penguin before, but it's got P.G. Woodhouse on it, so that's cool. But yeah, from a lovely cover to a shocking one, Something in Disguise by Elizabeth Jane Howard. I just got this because it's got like this horrible Thames TV. This is like a TV edition but an old Penguin TV edition, I think. So you don't you don't get those as much, but yeah, looks awful, but it's Elizabeth Jane Howard, so it must be good. It's also very dirty, this edition. I'm gonna have to clean it. So this says May's second marriage to Colonel Hibbert Brown Lacey is turning out to be a terrible mistake. Her children find the Colonel's presence oppressive and leave home. Olivia to drift from one affair to another, and Elizabeth to follow him to London in search of love and security. Even Herbert's own daughter, the shy and lonely Alice, is driven to marriage to escape from her father's sinister behaviour. Elizabeth Jane Howard explores the personal and social interactions of the contemporary family. So it sounds a bit like what she's really good at in the Cazalet Chronicles, is like family drama and family interaction. So yeah, I've only read the Cazalet Chronicles by Howard, so it would be good to read one of her non-series one. Next, an author I haven't read, and this is pretty much a cover buy. Also, this was one of the cheapest books I saw in the bookshop. This is Mercedes Lackey, and it's called Werehunter, and it's actually a collection of short stories starting with Werehunter, but it sounds very promising. I believe Mercedes Lackey is famous for a big fantasy series, and I have a feeling it might have dragons in it, but I haven't read her before. So it's got a story, Lope Through the Night, with a young woman who's given the power to transform herself into a leopard, but who now finds herself pursued by a hunter who is more than human. Follow the adventures of Skitty, a ship's cap extraordinaire and telepathic problem solver. That sounds amazing. Wide with a late night driver on a solitary road who learns what they appear to be a piece. Oh, this sounds amazing. Who learns that what appears to be a piece of cardboard blowing across the road is actually something very sinister in disguise. Yeah, these sound really cool. They didn't have a huge sci-fi section, and a lot of the sci-fi was sci-fi masterworks editions, and I didn't really want to go and sort of pay £5 for sci-fi masterwork editions. I wanted sort of old editions, so this was one of the most silly ones I could find. Right, so they're the three from Skoob Books. Then I walked down to the Oxfam Bookshop, and I got loads of things, so we'll go through those. I got Josephine Tay, so this might be a good one for March Mystery Madness. Brat Farah. It sounds a bit Ripley to me. A stranger enters the inner sanctum of the Ashby family, posing as Patrick Ashby, the heir to the family's sizable fortune. The stranger, Brat Farah, has been carefully coached on Patrick's mannerisms, appearance, and every significant detail of Patrick's early life, up to his 13th year when he disappeared and was thought to have drowned himself. So it's sort of a disguise thing, a bit like Ripley. But it sounds interesting. I really like the two Josephine Tay books I've read, and they were both Inspector Grant ones, so it'd be interesting to read one of her standalones. And I think I've heard good things about that one. I'm not sure. This one, again, just a great cover. I had to get it. Dashiell Hammett's The Thin Man, and this is kind of a modern Penguin edition, but I just love that picture. And this is a sort of a hard-boiled detective fiction. I think this is one of Dashiell Hammett's most famous ones. I can't remember if I read one of his before. Is The Big Sleep him? Or is that someone else? Ex-detective Nick Charles attracts trouble like a magnet. They all do. He thinks his sleuthing days are over, but when Julia Wolfe, a former acquaintance, is found dead, her body riddled with bullets, Nick, along with his glamorous wife Nora, Nick and Nora, nice, can't resist making few inquiries. Clyde Miller Winant, Julia's lover and boss, has disappeared. Everyone is after him, but Nick is not convinced Winant is the murderer. I doubt he is. And when he finds a jumped up hoodlum with a careless attitude to guns in his bedroom. It's only the beginning of his troubles. That sounds very hard boiled. Yeah. Yeah, nice little Dashiell Hammett. Then I've got one that I've been looking for an edition of it for a while, and that's Solzhenitsyn's The Gulag Archipelago. I like this this picture, and the barbed wire goes round all the way around the back, which is cool. Yeah, so this is obviously, I don't know, I'm not sure if this is the entire Gulag Archipelago, because it says inside an experiment in literary investigation 1 to 2, so maybe this is not the whole thing. So I didn't notice that till I was on the train. Yeah, this is an investigation into the gulags, so I'm sure it'll be a very grim reading. But I've read One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich by Solzhenitsyn, which is follows a single day in the life of someone in a gulag, and it's amazing. Very short, powerful book. So I'd be interested to read. I've always been looking out for an edition of that to see if I could find one. And next, this is another one that I've kind of heard of, and I think is quite big in America, but I don't really know. It doesn't seem to be. She doesn't seem to be a big writer in the UK, and that is The Sparrow by Mary Doria Russell. I've seen people recently reading her Western. I think she's done a Western on Doc Holliday, which sounds really good. But this is a science fiction, and I think it might be post-apocalyptic. After the first, or maybe it's alien invasion. After the first exquisite songs were intercepted by a radio telescope, UN diplomats debated long and hard whether and why human resources should be expended to an attempt to reach the world that would become known as Rakat. In the Rome offices of the Society of Jesus, the questions were not whether or why, but how soon the mission could be attempted and who to send. The Jesuit scientists went to Rakat to learn, not to proselytize. They went so that they might come to know and love God's other children. They went for the reason Jesuits have always gone to the farthest frontiers of human exploration. They went for the greater glory of God. They meant no harm. Interesting. Now it's sort of ringing a bell that it's a sort of Jesuit mission to another planet. But I love the cover. It's really cool. So that sounds interesting. Let me know if you've read any of these, by the way, especially that one. I've always wanted a Library of America edition, and the Oxfam Bookshop had two and they were both £5. And I went for Hawthorne. There was a Mark Twain one as well, which I picked up for a while, but then I put it back because it was getting too heavy, all the things I was picking up, and it wasn't in as good condition as Hawthorne. I've never read any Hawthorne, and I've never read any Mark Twain, but I've always wanted to read both of them. And I do have I actually already have two Mark Twain books, so I don't have any Hawthorne books, so I thought I'd get this. Scott Fanshawe, The Scarlet Letter, The House of the Seven Gables, The Blithedale Romance, and The Marble Fawn. But I love these editions. That I always see them on American BookTube, and I don't often see them in the UK, so I've got that one. Yeah, let me know if you're a big Hawthorne fan. I think I've got a feeling all Americans have to read The Scarlet Letter at school. But we're on to our last book, and this is another one that I've been looking for a while, and it matches a book I already have edition wise, and that's Sarah Waters' The Little Stranger. I think this is a lot of people's favourite Sarah Waters, or least favourite. I know it's one of those, so let me know in the comments if it's your favourite or least favourite. But yeah, I saw this was right next to the edition of the Night Watch that I've got, and I read the Night Watch, was it earlier this year I think, and I really enjoyed it, so I thought I'd get this one as well. And yeah, it's a nice hardback edition, and I think this sort of wear is on purpose. I think it's part of the book. Yeah, you can see it here. yeah, so that's my little book haul. How many books did I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 books with 2 of them from the post. Let me see if I can do a pyramid. No. Maybe I can. No, I can't do it. This is the books. That's my pyramid. Yeah, let me know if you've read any of these, and have a good one, BookTube. Bye.